Welcome to your upfront moment.
That I feel I would love to share.
We're building a confidence revolution.
Confident.
Braver, inspired, hopeful.
Change confidence, not women. Hi friends, I'm Lauren Curry, the founder of UPFRONT. We're an organisation on a mission to change confidence for 1 million women and non-binary people by 2023. And we do this in 3 ways. We transform your relationship and habits around confidence, power and visibility through our 6-week online course. Each cohort is called a bond. Bond is the collective noun for a group of women. And over 1,000 women have graduated from a bond from over 20 different countries. We build community, real, genuine, human community, where women learn how to stand up for themselves and each other. We hold each other to account. We celebrate each other and learn together. Our community is Global Bond. We create content that will inspire, challenge and motivate you to be upfront. We are here to change confidence, not women. Upfront Moment is designed to kick your week off with confidence, self-compassion and agency. Last week we talked about leadership. Your upfront challenge was to lead with kindness. Today we're going to talk about gentle, imperfect activism. Why have I chosen this topic? Well, I want to give you 3 examples that feel very top of mind. So this week, Jack Munroe, who is a UK public figure, chef, she writes cookbooks, has made a very bold statement in the open about food poverty, essentially making it extremely clear that the UK government is pricing poor people out of food, and she has announced that she's launching her own price index, which was in The Guardian this week. Absolutely incredible. Do check her out and check out the story. Educate yourselves on food poverty if it's not something you're familiar with. At the same time, we live in a world in the UK where Black women are 4 times more likely to die in childbirth than their white counterparts. And at the same time, we just had COP26, where we saw global leaders from all over the world travel together to come together in a shiny, glitzy conference to talk about the climate crisis, which Greta Thunberg called out as a whole bunch of blah, 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 all talk and no action. Now, these are just 3 of hundreds and hundreds of examples that affect each of our everyday life. They affect us, they affect our neighbours, they affect our fellow bonders. They might affect people we live or don't live alongside, our future grandchildren. And this is what makes these things systemic. And I really believe that it's the systemic nature of these things that make us angry and scared and feel out of our depth are the things that we need to look at. We need to look at, why do they feel overwhelming and what is my role in making these problems go away? Because that's what activism is. Activism is about taking consistent action to achieve equity in the world. Becoming an activist means rebelling. And I know that every single woman in the Global Bond is here to rebel and to learn how to rebel, because it means rejecting the status quo. It means rejecting what we're told is just how things are done, just how things are, and instead demanding a better world. Now, you might be listening to this thinking, I get it, and I hear you, Lauren, and I am down for this message, but I'm just one person, and I've got no childcare, and my kids got COVID, and I don't even know what we're going to have for dinner tonight. Never mind me taking on any of these challenges. I'm just one person. And I so get that feeling 100 times. And that's why I want to tell you this story. And this story is written by a brilliant woman called Kelly Diels, who is a feminist marketing consultant, who I recommend you check out on Instagram, follow her, sign up to her newsletter. And I'm going to share with you the story that she shared in her newsletter. And it's called We Pick Our Tools and Our Spots on the Wall and We Show Up. I think of our oppressive culture the one that me and you are trying to change, like a massive 1,000-foot cement wall, maybe like the Game of Thrones ice wall. Now, I'm not a rock climber. I'm not a soldier. I'm not an engineer. I don't own sticks of dynamite. The usual methods for getting over that wall or blowing it up are not available to me. But I do have tools, and I do have something to contribute. I use my chisel. For me, my chisel is building community, building educational resources, using my skill set to make women feel brave. I can pick my spot on the wall. For me, my spot on the wall, confidence, power, visibility, progress for all women. And I can show up at my spot on the wall every single day. And I can take my chisel and pick away at the same spot over and over and over again. Now, if I'm going to do this by myself, I'm doomed to fail. I might make a teeny weeny wee hole, but that 1,000-foot wall ain't coming down because of me and my chisel. But I'm not alone. I have other people. I have you. I have the bond. I have all of you who are showing up with your tools to take your spot at the wall too. Some of you are showing up with barbecues and bread. Some of you are twisting balloon animals for the kids. Musicians are keeping us all lifted and inspired, soothing us when we're tired. The massage therapists are kneading sore muscles, preventing injuries. There are people singing and stilt walking. There are artists painting what it looks like on the other side of the wall, because we can't imagine it, but they can, and that's what keeps us going. And they're painting all of us, so that we don't forget the power and the magic of this moment. There are people setting up tents, making sure the elders are laughing and loved and taking their meds on time. The accountants are making sure we've got coins in our jars for the next supply deliveries. And somebody's coordinating those deliveries and logistics to make sure we've got enough for dinners and pancakes. We all have a place at the wall. We need each other to take it down. And we don't only need activists and politicians and political strategists and fundraisers. We need food and love and logistics and music and water and caregiving and vision and commitment and dinner and pancakes. So if you feel overwhelmed at how angry you feel, at how powerless you feel, at the scale and the scope of the things that need to change, please know this. Not one person can respond to all of it. You're not responsible for it all. You're responsible for sharpening your tools and showing up to your unique place on the wall. That thing that you do that's so easy for you and so hard for the rest of us, like painting or coaching or writing or poetry or parenting, that's your best place on the wall. That's your tool. That's your place and it's your contribution. And we need every single person at the wall, all of you, the Instagrammers, the writers, the consultants, the artists, the architects, the chefs, the jugglers, the protesters. We need all of our collective gifts and talents and contributions, and we need money and resources. We need those resources and we need each other at the wall. So let's get them, let's gather, because the wall is coming down. And together we rise. Thank you, Kelly Deal, for these amazing words. Now, if you're anything like me, when I first read that, I was teary. I was really hurt me. I still think about it all the time. That's why I wanted to share it with you today. But after a while, those hormones start to fade away and you get stuck into this like, oh, but where do I start and what do I do? And so there's 3 myths that we need to bust. And one might be a wee voice at the back of your mind thinking, you know, I could do something, but there's just other people who are better, they're better placed than me. Somebody else will come and fix it. Somebody else will show up. Now, you might have been holding off in the hope that somewhere, somebody, someone's coming to the rescue. Nobody is coming to the rescue. Get that fantasy out of the way and out of your head. And the fact that nobody's coming to rescue you means one thing. It's up to you. And then we might say, yeah, but I'm not, I'm not woke enough. Who am I to be doing activism-y things, when I smoke Marlboros at the weekend, or eat meat, or shout at my kids sometimes. You know, I do things that I know aren't good for me and aren't good for the world. So many of us get so blocked by feeling we need to be the perfect activist that we don't do anything. And it would be such a shame if the pressure to be a perfect activist was what prevents all of you from becoming activists in the first place. And there's an incredible trans activist called Munroe Bergdorf, and she talks about nobody is born woke. You can only wake up. Show others the courtesy of forgiveness, just like others forgave you when you started to become socially conscious. We all at one time or another have been problematic. We all will continue to be problematic or at one time, and none of us are ever done growing. And then we land on, but I have to say the right thing. What if I say something that upsets somebody? What if I do something that upsets somebody? You might, and that's okay. You probably will say the wrong thing at some time. But what is important is what you do with that, how you apologize, how you learn, how you reflect, and what you do next. Because if you don't do anything from the fear of saying or doing the wrong thing, then nothing changes. So I'm going to give you 3 very small, very different examples of what activism, gentle and imperfect activism, might look like. Soma Sarah, in June 2020, started a website where young women and men could anonymously publish testimonies of their experience of sexual assault. And she called it Everybody's Invited. And by April last year, more than 15,000 stories had been shared, and it prompted an official government investigation into sexual assault in schools. Soma Sarah, Everybody's Invited. One woman, one website. 15,000 stories later, the government launched an investigation. Second example, Kate Winslet. Didn't see that one coming, did you? So, Mayor of Easttown, if you've not seen it, incredible drama. She plays a troubled detective. She's 45. She did an incredible performance. But what she did was she refused to let the directors retouch her stomach in one of the scenes of the show. And that struck another important blow in her lifelong campaign to normalise female bodies on screen. Now, does Kate Winslet call herself an activist? No. If I asked you to name 100 activists, would Kate Winslet be on the list? No. But she is using her context, her power, her day-to-day life to create the change that she wants to see in the world. And the third is Emily Joof, a woman who I met online when I arrived in Sweden. She spends half her time in Sweden and half her time in Gambia. And she says, in March 2018, one of my greatest fears came to life. My daughter looked me in the eye and told me that she didn't want to be brown anymore. Now, I knew I couldn't change the world she lived in, but I knew I could change how she lived in the world. So she started to write books. And I have her books in my wee boy's bedroom. If you have little people in your life, I recommend you get them. She's writing books that celebrate the African diaspora. She used her expertise in storytelling and education and literature to write books to hopefully mean that no other mum is going to have to hear her baby girl tell her that she doesn't want to be brown anymore. So with these 3 women in mind, Emily, Kate and Soma, I want to introduce you to your challenge for this week. Your upfront challenge is to show up at your post in the wall. Be a gentle, imperfect activist. Decide your cause and then work out what your piece of the jigsaw is. You are never the full jigsaw, you are only one piece. What might that look like? Declare yourself an activist. Remember that activism is a way of showing up. It's about action, challenging and engaging with oppressive systems. Write a list of the causes you care about. Share that with your bond. What change do you want to see? Talk to your upfront buddies about it. What can you personally do about this? What would the first 3 steps be? And who do you need to support you? Activism happens in community. And this is what we are. This is where we are. This is your community. And I'm going to end by quoting Gloria Steinem, who says, we have to behave as if everything we do matters, because it just might.
Thank you for listening, friend. Let me know how you go with your Upfront challenge. And tag us at Upfront Global, tag me at Lauren Curry, and let me know what you took away from this moment. And of course, please let me know if there's any topic you'd like me to cover next. Don't forget to sign up to our weekly newsletter. Every Tuesday, we send over 4,000 people all over the world links, insight, and inspiration that will leave you feeling ready to take action. If you've enjoyed today's Upfront Moment, you are going to adore our 6-week online course, Bond 6. By now, you've probably heard of the Bond. Bond is the collective noun for a group of women. And over 1,000 women and non-binary people from over 50 countries, representing organisations such as Nike, Pleo and Spotify, have graduated from our 6-week online course. Bond 6 starts on June 6th. 6 weeks of online learning and community that will transform your relationship with your own confidence. The problem isn't that women aren't confident, but that confidence in women is not rewarded in the world. This is the problem that we exist to solve. The Upfront Bond course has been called the Couch to 5K for Confidence. I share practical and inspirational tools and insights to help you be more upfront in every single aspect of your life. Visit weareupfront.com to take a peep at the Bond 6 details and of course sign up to our newsletter. Bye friend, I'll see you on Monday for your next Upfront Moment.